Hey everyone, it's Tank Oscar Mike. I know a lot of people are doing their 2022 year in review, and I wanted to do one too because I do have a lot to talk about for this year. First and foremost, my favorite event of 2022 was Dayton Hamvention. I had a great time there. It was definitely the largest event I've ever attended. I got to meet a lot of the YouTubers, and I can tell you just from firsthand experience that a lot of those guys are genuinely nice guys and really enjoy the hobby. It was a great time. I didn't shoot a lot of video there like a lot of other YouTubers did when they were there. It was my first time there, and I really wanted to focus on the experience, and I literally was overwhelmed with how much was going on. Not just all the great vendors that were there, but also the forums that were there. I attended a bunch of forums while I was there as well. Lots of great speakers, and it was just a really good time, and I really enjoyed it. Field Day 2022 was great with my club. We had a new location, which was way better than some of the other locations we've had previously. We had tons of room. We had antennas everywhere. We used the trailer antenna for the first time really well, and we just had a great time. It really was a good event. I'm currently planning Winter Field Day, which will be at the end of January in 2023 with my club. Normally I do Winter Field Day out in my backyard in a little tarp shelter or tent or something like that, but I'm the Aries coordinator for my group, and I've tried to do a lot more with Aries this year, and I want to do it with my club, and we are doing it at the same location we did Summerfield Day. There's actually a historic log cabin there, and we'll be operating from that log cabin, so really looking forward towards that as well. Parks on the Air was a big part of my activities this year. I started hiking and doing Parks on the Air out in the woods away from the parking lots in winter of last year, and it really was refreshing after being trapped inside because of the COVID warnings and everything else. It was nice to be able to get out into fresh air and do something outside. So Parks on the Air and hiking really did save me. I'm grateful that I got my wife into hiking this year. She never really was a big hiker. And when I started hiking and doing Parks on the Air, and then I got her to go out with me, I started taking Augie out for hikes as well. And she really got into it. She's not into ham radio. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, get her into ham radio. My wife does not have interest in technology. So getting her into ham radio, it just isn't her thing. She supports me 100% with the radios I buy and building antennas in the yard and everything else, but she has zero interest. If she'll go on a hike with me and let me do a POTA while she does a little extra hiking with Augie, I'm happy with that. Speaking of Parks on the Air, I used a bunch of different radios this year. I had a FT817 in the past. I had the KX2. I got the Lab 599 TX500, which I really enjoyed using, and then something happened to it. I believe that I probably damaged it by using digital modes at too high of a power, and probably burned something out in the radio. I never really got an answer, but they had to replace a lot of stuff in the radio, and it took about 3 months before I got it back. And that's due to parts supply. And as many of you know, the FT818 has been discontinued, and their reasoning is lack of being able to get components for it. Along that line, the ICOM 705 was my favorite piece of gear this year to use. I got that radio, and it's easy to use. It's so powerful. It has so many features. And I know the price is up there compared to the 818, and you could buy 2 818s for what you got for the 705. But the 705 was loaded with so many more features, but it's not a budget radio. But now with the FT818 being discontinued, I happened to look. DX Engineering has already removed the FT818 from their online store. and you're already starting to see some price gouging going on for that radio. So if the cost of the FT818 is going up, the ICOM 705 to me is the best replacement for that radio going forward. I hate to say it, but I don't believe Yaesu has anything coming out in the near future to replace that radio. I just don't think they do. It would be great if they came out with a modern radio, maybe with a little bit bigger screen, same form factor, but I just don't think it's going to happen. If it does, great. But I think the ICOM 75 is the best replacement going out there. It's a little bit more, but you're getting so many more features for it. Now, I probably won't take the 705 backpacking. I have in the past. It's a little bit bigger radio. It's a little heavier. And because of the square form factor, in the right case, it does fit into my bag. But that's kind of become my portable radio for car, portable, or just taking it out in the backyard, that type of thing. If I'm going hiking, I'm probably going to take the Lab 599 TX500 because it is splash resistant. It's a little bit better in harsh environments, and I'll most likely just be doing single sideband. Now that doesn't have 2 meter and 440 in it, so if I need those capabilities, then I will take the 705 with me. So along with my club, the other thing that I did with my club, I got elected to my club's board of directors. And I'm hoping that I'm having a positive influence on my club and its members. I'm hoping that we can get more people active. Also, being the Aries coordinator for my county, we did an Aries drill. We've gotten a little bit more involved with the county, and we've been able to use county facilities for some of the Aries drill, some of the county's command vehicles. We did some training on the command vehicles and the generators that the county uses for that. So that all went well this year, and I'm pretty happy with all of that. My fails for this year was my club's Hamfest. I'm the Hamfest chairman. We haven't had the Hamfest the last couple of years because of COVID. And this year I contacted vendors. I actually went to other Hamfests in the area, as many as I could, to try to drum up interest, and even talking with some of the vendors at Hamvention about our Hamfest, vendors that have been there before, and there wasn't enough interest to put on the Hamfest that we normally do. We rent an area on the local county fairgrounds. The building that we're in is expensive. It's indoors. And with the lack of vendors and it being probably going to be more like a flea market, it just wasn't going to be beneficial to the club. I think we would have lost money, so we decided not to do it again. We should have done some pre-planning. For this year, it will probably be an outdoor event, just kind of like a flea market, like a shop and swap, as other clubs are calling theirs as well. And we'll probably just do that at some outdoor venue. Normally our Hamfest is in November. We're going to try to move that up earlier in the year so we have a better chance of good weather. So that's the one failure. The other failure is CW. I've been working on my CW and just recently been concentrating on it again. But I haven't done a lot of CW activations. I try to chase POTA parks via CW to get my feet wet. And I need to do more of that. So maybe 2023 will be the year for me to really pick up the CW and do some more activations. 2023, I definitely want to work more with my club, do more club events besides field day, winter field day, maybe do some POTA events. We did a QRP night last year, which was a big success. And I'm a big fan of QRP, so maybe even host a QRP party here at the house or something like that. I would like to do more traveling with my wife, Augie, but we've traveled before. We did a trip this year. We went up to a national park over in Ohio. We stayed in a hotel, and over 3 days, I think we hiked over 30 miles or something like that. We had a great time, got to see a lot of different things. And I would love to do more of that, and I'd love to take longer trips. I hate staying in hotels. Number one, I hate unloading the truck, going to the hotel, and then loading the truck back up and everything. To me, I don't like that. So I've kind of been looking at little micro trailers, not teardrops. I think teardrops a little bit smaller than I want to do. And for the comfort of my wife and everything, they make some micro trailers that literally are a bed, a small kitchen area, and a bathroom that's a wet bath, where the toilet, you sit on the toilet basically and take a shower. I think that would work for us. I know people that have bigger trailers and they don't take them anywhere because they're kind of a pain to haul. If you want to stop somewhere, it's a pain, and it just I just know people that have them and don't use them. So I think a smaller micro trailer that I could hook up a lot easier. Plus, it would be easier to tow with my Tacoma. So that's something I'd like to do. If I can find something that would fit our budget, hopefully I can get my wife on board and we can take some longer trips. My wife's been wanting to go to Colorado. She has some friends in Colorado, and maybe some of you know, my wife loves craft beer, and she wants to go to some beer events and hit some breweries in different areas. And I think having a micro trailer and being able to travel like that would be ideal. I would love to get a camper van, one of the conversions, but they're so expensive. I just don't know if that's in our budget. So a micro trailer is probably an eighth of the cost of one of those larger van things. So maybe that would be a good way to get our feet wet, and then maybe consider something else going down the road. But I would like to do more traveling. Along that, I would love to do a group YouTube trip here on the East Coast. I know they've done them out in California with Adam K6ARK and Josh and M. There's a lot of ham radios closer out here on the East Coast too. And I think I would love to do like a big trip with us, organized it, go out, camp somewhere, maybe do a multi-park excursion into some of the remote places of West Virginia or Pennsylvania, and just have some fun. There's some great places with lots of scenery, and we could camp out and do some good POTA activations from those locations. So we'll see if I can't organize something like that with a group of people. Other than that, more POTA, more getting out, more ham radio. I still love the hobby, and I'm enjoying it. This year I am changing. For Christmas I got a 3D printer. I think I've done a couple of sneak peeks on that 3D printer already, and I'm already getting into, it's been printing constantly since I got it. Right now it's printing a new cover for my TX500, and I've printed some wire winders that Adam K6ARK has made. I've even customized one of those and printed it out. His winders were a little small for my liking, so I was able to resize them in the slicer program and make it so it still fits in the case that I want to use it in, but it's a little bigger and will hold a little bit more wire on it. And that's the great thing about 3D printing, is you can customize things for yourself instead of just buying off-the-shelf solutions. And if you I like Sodabeam's wire winders, but they are expensive if you buy them here in the US. I think they're like $9 a piece or something like that. And I've printed wire winders now using maybe 50 cents worth of material, probably less than that, of 3D material. And yes, you have to factor in the cost of the 3D printer. I don't know when I'll recoup my money by saving money by printing things, but I can tell you I'm having a lot of fun, and it's kind of nice that, in this day and age when supply and demand is an issue, having the ability to maybe print a little plastic part if you need it instead of trying to buy one is kind of a neat idea, and that's why I got that as a Christmas gift this year, and I'm really enjoying it. It's not quite as easy as taking a inkjet printer out of a box, hooking up and printing, but it's getting pretty close. So it's something I'm looking forward to, doing a lot more of, and maybe learning a little CAD so I can design some of my own parts. But I think that's it. I'm looking forward to 2023. I hope everybody has a great 2023 and gets out there and does more ham radio. I hope we get more people into the hobby. 2022 was a great year for me and my family. I really can't have no complaints, and I'm looking forward to the new year. So I hope everyone has a great new year, and I hope everyone stays safe and healthy. And this is Tango Oscar Mike saying 73, and take care.
Tango Oscar Mike.